सो समीर भाई, उधर से स्टार्ट करते हैं कि गेमिंग की जर्नी कैसे शुरू हुई। फर्स्ट गेम कौन सा खेला था या फिर उसकी क्या यादें हैं?
गेमिंग का जर्नी वो बहुत पुराना है, बट एक चीज़ बहुत दिमाग में है। बहुत पहले से 5th स्टैंडर्ड में था जब घर पे पहला पीसी आया था।
ओके।
डैड ने पीसी लेके दिया था। बोला था पढ़ने के लिए चाहिए, पर
ऑब्वियसली
बहुत गेम खेले। उस पे जो गेमिंग जर्नी चालू हुई मेरी पीसी वाली, उससे पहले वो मारियो वो टीवी वाला वीडियो गेम वो होता रहता है। उसमें फिर रोड रैश, काउंटर स्ट्राइक, GTA, सैन एंड्रियास, वाई सिटी, ये वाला एरा था। फिर हेलो, कॉल ऑफ ड्यूटी, ये वाला एरा।
राइट।
पूरा 3 साल तक जब तक पीसी आउटडेटेड नहीं हुआ तब तक जो गेम खेला वो घर पे बैठ के
पीसी को
पूरा निचोड़ लिया। घर पे पार्टीज होने की, लैन पार्टीज बोलते हैं। एक लैन को 4-5 पीसी, सोसाइटी वाले बच्चे लोग आने के पीसी लेके,
बाप रे,
सब अपना अपना पीसी लेके रख के CS खेलते थे। दिन भर CS खेलते थे। समर हॉलीडेज में सुबह सुबह क्रिकेट खेलने जाने का, घर पे खाना खाने को आने का, फिर सब लोग अपना पीसी लेके आने के बैठ के खेलने। इंटरनेट इतना नहीं था तब, इंटरनेट पे ज़्यादा चीज़ें
ऑफलाइन गेम्स ज़्यादा थे।
प्रॉपर सब लैन पे ही चाहिए था, या फिर दूसरा ऑप्शन कैफ़े जाना था। पैसे तो थे नहीं कैफ़े जाने के लिए। बोलते थे घर पे है पीसी तो बाहर क्यों जाना है। तो फिर वहाँ से चालू हुआ। फिर 3 साल के बाद पीसी बंद पड़ गया। 9वीं 10वीं चालू हो गई,
सब पीसी ठीक भी नहीं हुआ।
पीसी वापस ठीक भी नहीं हुआ क्योंकि
पता चल गया है हिडन मोटिव क्या है।
एक बार वो पापा को एक बार पता चल गया कि क्या है। फुल मी वंस, शेम ऑन यू, फुल मी ट्वाइस, शेम ऑन मी हो गया वो। वापस कभी पापा ने लेके नहीं दिया, कुछ खेलने वाली चीज़ें नहीं लेके दी। तो थोड़ा कम हो गया था बीच में। पढ़ाई वढ़ाई चालू हो गया था। 10th के बाद फिर कैफ़े वैफे जाके खेलना चालू हो गया था। कॉलेज वॉलेज बंक करके थोड़ा सा कैफ़े वैफे, पर इतना मेजर नहीं था। अराउंड till my first year in BCom.
Correct.
That time I got a new laptop जिसपे प्रॉपर गेम खेलना चालू हो गया था। वापस चालू हो गया था। और तब तक फिर वो फ़ोन वाले गेम्स खेलने के इधर उधर पर
एंड्रॉयड
फोन्स आ गए थे। एंड्रॉयड वो नोकिया वाले फ़ोन रहते थे, जावा फाइल मिलता था उस पर। नोकिया, विंडोज़ नहीं, उससे पहले वाला
आशा, वो जैम्प था सैमसंग का, उस जमाने के फोन था।
हाँ, वो वाले फ़ोन जिस पे जावा फाइल चलने का, सब जार फाइल्स रहने के, वो वाले गेम्स बना था। गेम लॉफ्ट बना था तब।
यस गेम लॉफ्ट याद है, वो शो होता था सैमसंग के फोन्स पे भी होता था।
वो वाले गेम्स खेलने के हम लोग, पर इतना ज़्यादा नहीं जो वापस। तब तक फिर यूट्यूब पे वीडियोस देखते थे। ऐसा लगता था कि अरे ये खेलना चाहिए, ये खेल के देखना। नए गेम्स का जो ट्रेंड आता था वो देखते थे यूट्यूब पे बैठ के। इंटरनेट भी आ गया था, सब चीज़। तो फिर वो भूत तो था सर पे, इवन डिसकंटिन्यू होने के बाद भी। पर थोड़ा लाइफ उधर से डिस्ट्रैक्ट हो गए थे।
इतना
लाइफ में जो फोकस करना चालू कर दिए थे, तो उधर से थोड़ा डिस्ट्रैक्शन हो गया था। पर फिर एक बार उसमें वापस आ गया तो अभी तक छोड़ा नहीं है अभी फिर।
अरे क्या बात है। यूबीसॉफ्ट की जर्नी कैसे स्टार्ट हुई? और वो काफ़ी अमेजिंग किस्सा है, बिकॉज यूबीसॉफ्ट इज़ अ बिग नेम इन गेमिंग इंडस्ट्री। तो यूबीसॉफ्ट वाज योर फर्स्ट जॉब, तो उसके बारे में बताइए।
यूबीसॉफ्ट पे मेरे को पता भी नहीं था पुणे में यूबीसॉफ्ट है करके।
अच्छा।
तो एक दिन सोचा कि अभी इसके पीछे भी एक कहानी है। वो टाइम पे अभी गेम्स पायरेट करने के, बहुत सारे गेम्स पायरेट होने के, तो पायरेटेड गेम्स ही खेलने के, क्योंकि इट इज़ अ वेरी एक्सपेंसिव हॉबी।
ओके, या
पैसा उतना रहता नहीं है नया गेम खरीदने के लिए, तो पायरेट करते। और आज भी बहुत लोग पायरेट करते हैं उस पर। तो स्किड्रो ये लोग जो पायरेट करते थे, फिट गर्ल, ये लोग बोले कि वो तब न्यूज़ में बहुत चालू था कि पायरेसी की वजह से गेमिंग इंडस्ट्री पैसा कम कमाता है, ये सब चीज़। ये लोग बोले 1 साल भर पायरेसी करेंगे नहीं। न्यूज़ था, ऑफ कोर्स न्यू पीपल केम इनटू पायरेट द गेम्स फॉर दैट ईयर, दैट्स अ होल डिफरेंट थिंग। बट it was the news that they will stop pirating for 1 year to just to see if it really did affect sales or not.
Okay.
In any way possible.
Okay.
At that time.
Okay.
तो तब सोचा था कि यार बस हो गया पायरेटेड गेम्स खेलना, अभी कुछ तो करते हैं और फिर खरीद के गेम खेलेंगे, ओरिजिनल खेलेंगे क्योंकि मल्टीप्लेयर के लिए खरीदना ही पड़ता है, पायरेटेड पे मल्टीप्लेयर होता ही नहीं है।
ओके।
तो फिर सोच रहे क्या करेंगे तो फिर बोले का जॉब वॉब देख लेते किधर, तो भी तो फिर एक दिन देख रहा था और यूबीसॉफ्ट दिख गया। यूबीसॉफ्ट देखा तो पुणे में, वेडनेसडे था, वेडनेसडे को अप्लाई किया, थर्सडे इंटरव्यू को गया और थर्सडे को कॉल आया, फ्राइडे को इंटरव्यू गया और मंडे को ज्वाइन किया।
क्या बात है। पर ये मतलब बाय फ्लूक हुआ था या कहाँ दिखा था आपको ये जॉब?
यही जॉब पोस्टिंग, अभी याद नहीं कौन से साइट पे था, शायद टाइम्स जॉब था, पता नहीं।
तभी काफ़ी ट्रेंडिंग था टाइम्स जॉब, वहाँ पे बहुत जॉब्स दिखते थे।
टाइम्स जॉब्स था या naukri.com था, ये याद नहीं मेरे को अभी किस पे था, पर फ्लूक नहीं बोल सकते, मे बी फ्लूक था, मे बी वो डेस्टिनी था, मेरे को पता नहीं, पर वो चीज़ मेरे को सबसे पहले दिखा। मैं ऐसा सर्च नहीं कर रहा था कि गेमिंग रिलेटेड, क्योंकि वो तब तक वो दिमाग में भी नहीं था, तब तक वो ऐसा गोल भी नहीं था कि यही इंडस्ट्री में जाना है।
करेक्ट।
पर वो सबसे पहले पेज में थोड़ा सा स्क्रॉल करने पे ही दिख गया यूबीसॉफ्ट, और यूबीसॉफ्ट बहुत बड़ा नाम है हमारे लिए, तो बहुत बड़ा नाम है वो। तब भी था, आज भी है, 35 years in the gaming industry, it's a very big name and still continuing to do great things. So
I know.
वो सब वो सिर्फ नाम देख के ही अप्लाई कर लिया और कहीं और अप्लाई नहीं किया।
The only job you applied?
एक ही जॉब अप्लाई करना था, दूसरे दिन कॉल भी आ गया,
तीसरे दिन ज्वाइन भी हो गए,
इंटरव्यू भी दे दिया और ज्वाइन भी हो गए।
क्या बात है, क्या बात है।
और कुछ आइडिया नहीं था क्या पूछने वाले हैं, और जब गया पूरा फॉर्मल्स वगैरह पहन के, हेयर कट वगैरह करके गया सब, तब बाहर बिठाए थे वेटिंग एरिया में, तो लोग देख रहा मैं जो अंदर एक्चुअल काम कर रहे, तो देख रहा सब अपना कैजुअल्स, कोई हाफ चड्डी पहन के घूम रहा।
वो गूगल वाला था क्या थोड़ा बहुत?
मस्त कैजुअल अपना फ्लिप फ्लॉप्स में लोग इधर उधर घूम रहे, सब चीज़ देख रहा। ये चीज़ में मेरे को अंदर जाने नहीं दिया था, तब तक मैं बाहर वेटिंग एरिया में था,
बाहर से दिख रहा था ये, बाहर
से लोग अंदर बाहर कर रहे, तो फिर बोला ये बहुत ही फॉर्मल हो गया शायद में, तो मेरे को लगा टेक्निकल चीज़ें पूछेंगे वगैरह। वो लोग ने मेरे को एक शीट दिया, बोले एक ऐसे लिखो अपने फेवरेट गेम के ऊपर,
बस। मतलब ये स्टार्ट था?
हाँ स्टार्ट। तो फिर एक ऐसे लिखा मैं, और
कौन से गेम पे ऊपर लिखा?
विचर 3 करके गेम में।
ओके।
Witcher 3, you must be knowing the Witcher series on Netflix. Yes, it came from a book. The book was adapted into the games.
So पहले गेम आया था?
नहीं, पहले बुक आया था।
हाँ करेक्ट, मतलब बुक का पहले गेम एडेप्टेशन और अभी
सीरीज है। तो वो अभी भी वो फेवरेट गेम है, 7-8 बार खेल चुका हूँ सब चीज़, पर वो तब जस्ट खेला था, बहुत फ्रेश था दिमाग में, तो पूरा लिख लिया सब चीज़, 2 पेज भर दिया,
बाप रे,
और भेज दिया। और मेरे को लगा एजुकेशन के बारे में पूछेंगे, टेक्निकल बैकग्राउंड पूछेंगे, इंजीनियरिंग वाला चीज।
You were not graduate also when you gave the first interview?
No. तो ये सब चीज़ पूछेंगे, बट अंदर गया, बट बेस्ड ऑन माय एसे all they talked about with me was about the games that I have played. Other than, they asked me about Witcher as well, and they asked me about the other games that I normally play and everything. And what are the bugs that I experienced basically. थोड़ा सा मेरा ये देखते हैं कि किस चीज़ पे फोकस होता है आदमी गेम जब खेल रहा है, तब क्या चीज़ कर रहा है, लीनियर जा रहा है कि अपना थोड़ा क्रिएटिविटी लगा रहा है कि नहीं, ये सब चीज़। इट वॉज अ वेरी स्मूथ प्रोसेस। तो ऐसे 2 राउंड, तीसरा राउंड HR का जब होता है, तब मेरे को अंदर भेजे वो लोग, और जब अंदर भेजे तो इट वॉज लाइक ड्रीमलैंड।
ओके।
ऐसे पीसीज कभी देखे नहीं है, हाई एंड, बड़े बड़े टीवीज़ रखे लोग, बड़े बड़े टीवीज़ पे 50-50 इंच के टीवीज़ पे अपना गेम खेल रहे, और ये सब मैं बस
फैंटेसी
देख के ही बोला मेरे को इधर ही आना है, अभी मेरे को घर जाना ही नहीं है। HR राउंड हो गया, तो वो लोग मेरे को बोल दिए कि मंडे से ज्वाइन कर लो करके.
परफेक्ट. इट वाज अ ड्रीम एक्सपीरियंस था मतलब पूरा एकदम. घर पे आके पिंच किया था.
Still feels like a dream. My 5 years in Ubisoft still feels like a dream to me. There were so many situations that Ubisoft put me through in the whole thing. और इतना स्मूथली हर चीज़ हुआ मेरे लिए Ubisoft में, तो वो पूरा ड्रीम ही लगता है. ऐसा अगर Ubisoft नहीं होता था तो फिर प्रॉब्ली कोई और इंडस्ट्री में, प्रॉब्ली बैंकिंग में जाता था. आई डोंट नो, बट Ubisoft did a kickstart for my career.
बहुत से लोगों को ना मिसकंसेप्शन है स्पेशली इन द गेम टेस्टिंग फील्ड कि उसका जो QA QC है उसके लिए मतलब आपको इंजीनियरिंग चाहिए, ये डिग्री चाहिए, वो डिग्री चाहिए. सो मैनी पीपल आर स्टिल गेटिंग मोर एंड मोर डिग्रीज इन देयर बकेट rather than thinking about what skill set is actually required when you have to crack the interview. तो उसके बारे में what do you think? Because you cracked it before your graduation even, so you were in your first year to be very precise. वो उम्र में अगर they are looking at your skill set, so what does it matter if you have to take so many n amount of degrees, n amount of certifications? Is that really going to count in this industry?
It does count. So basically, whatever you do, it never goes to waste.
Correct.
जो भी certification कर रहे हो, back when I joined 2016, there weren't a lot of certification, especially for QA QC for testing.
ये Udemy Coursera तो अभी आया है.
अभी सब चालू हुआ है. और अभी भी सॉफ्टवेयर टेस्टिंग में अगर जाना है तो you need courses.
Correct.
उधर वो लोग, because you need to know some tools beforehand before joining the company.
Definitely.
The company can't teach you everything. But in the gaming field, the certificates do matter. But if you don't have any idea about video games, then your certificates are useless.
Correct.
क्योंकि बाकी सब सिखा सकते हैं वो लोग तुमको, पर गेम खेलना नहीं सिखा सकते. वो नेचुरल रहता है हर एक चीज़. किसी को भी बैट कैसे पकड़ना, क्रिकेट ले लो, बैट कैसे पकड़ने का सिखा सकते हैं अपन, बॉल को मिडल कैसे करने का, वो तो नेचुरल चीज़ रहता है
डेफिनेटली
आदमी का. दैट इज़ द होल थिंग अबाउट सर्टिफिकेशन. इट्स नॉट अ वेस्ट. इफ यू आर डूइंग इट then it's good for you if you're doing it.
Add on हो जाता है, but
it's an
gaming
add-on.
is the basic
But
thing.
you need to understand video games like the
Crazy.
people do, and the more you understand them, the more even you will start feeling कि ये सर्टिफिकेशन करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. मेरे को खुद को कॉन्फिडेंस आना चालू होता है कि I can crack it without any kind of certification. Certifications do give you confidence, do give you a plus point, but
तो मतलब कंपलसरी नहीं है कि डिग्री हो, बट गेमिंग इज द बेसिक थिंग.
यस, कंपलसरी. आई थिंक कोई भी फील्ड में कंपलसरी नहीं है कि डिग्री होना ही चाहिए करके. इट ऑल्सो डिपेंड्स ऑन द कंपनी. इफ दे वांट समवन हु हैज टू हैव अ डिग्री, देन ऑफ कोर्स you need to have a degree. If your dream is to work for this particular company, you need a degree for that. But if you don't worry about that particular thing, that कि मेरे को चूज ही नहीं हो आप बेसिकली कंपनी ढूंढने में, तो फिर बस एक कंपनी में चले जाओ, उधर से नॉलेज गेन कर लो. अगर डिग्री नहीं करना है तो इट्स फ्री नॉलेज प्लस यू गेट पेड. सो उधर से पर नॉलेज गेन करना, anything written on paper is useless. You need to have the knowledge for it.
Definitely. Got it. Very true. Or the moment you joined Ubisoft, do you think that was your life-changing moment, or your world turned in the other way? Because जैसे आपने कहा थोड़ा distraction हो गया था college life में for the gaming piece, and then you got this opportunity. So was this life-changing for you?
I wouldn't say life-changing, but joining Ubisoft gave me a direction. I was 20 years old when I joined Ubisoft, roughly. Basically. And at that age, a lot of... Me personally, I didn't know where I was going from here.
Majority people don't.
Yes. And I did have friends who were pretty clear on where they were going from here.
Yes.
So, ऐसा होता है कि लोग होते हैं जिन लोगों को बिल्कुल पता है क्या करना है, लोग रहते हैं जो क्लूलेस रहते हैं क्या करना नहीं हो. So it's a direction for me. It won't be life changing, but it was a proper direction. And after 6 years in this industry, I think I'm going in the right direction right now.
Perfect.
और आगे जाके देखेंगे अभी 2-3 साल में भी सेम लगता है कि नहीं.
गेम टेस्टिंग के साथ थोड़ा लाइफ टेस्टिंग भी होना चाहिए. टेस्ट नहीं करेंगे पता कैसे चलेगा.
हाँ, वो
जाके देखना चाहिए ना, तभी तो पता चलेगा.
You have to try something out.
Then only you will get to know whether it's fit for you or no.
It could be right around the corner, like what it was for me. Ubisoft was right there, just 2 days away from me. But I wasn't just looking for it, right? At that time.
Got it.
When I looked at it, it was right around the corner for me. I just went there and it all started from there.
Who do you treat as your personal motivation? Now this can be a fictional character of a series or maybe a game also, but we wanted to know that what is your motivation? Who has always motivated you?
It's not a fictional character, but it's the people that I worked with over the years. जितने भी लोगों के साथ काम किया अब तक, there was one of my leads who is like I consider him as my mentor, kind of mentor and everything. But not just him, all the people that I worked with, I must have worked with, like in Ubisoft alone, at least 600 people over 5 years, different people. And all of these guys coming to this industry, lot of people have no idea about it. Some are not interested in it. Some are extremely passionate about it. All of these different kinds of people, but they are all moving towards one same goal, and they achieve that goal eventually. And this is what inspires me. And right now I don't have that big of a team, but the 18 testers that work along with me, even these guys are freshers, and they look up to me with like all this experience and coming from Ubisoft and everything. But the real thing is that I look up to these guys because of their pure focus so early in their careers. I wasn't
that focused,
that matured or focused. I was just playing video games at that point.
अच्छा लगता है.
First 2 years I was
Getting
just playing
the
video
same
games. But
inspiration back.
these guys, it's their start of their career, and they understand so much about it, and they're so curious, and they talk so much about the whole scenario of QA and QC with me, and they want to learn and they want to grow here. And this is what particularly inspires me. It's not there will always be fictional characters that you are inspired by, or someone who has been a very big success or a star, maybe Shah Rukh Khan or something. But somewhere down the line I started realizing that it's the people that you work with rather than
the fantasizing big things.
Yes.
वेरी ट्रू. और घर वालों का रिएक्शन क्या था? बिकॉज इंडिया में वो होता है ना कि क्या होता है गेम टेस्टिंग, गेम ही खेलेगा क्या, मतलब वो एक मिसकंसेप्शन है. नॉट अबाउट योर फैमिली, आई डोंट नो, बट जनरली पीपल हैव दैट मिसकंसेप्शन कि बाबा ये क्या होता है गेम टेस्टिंग, मतलब गेम ही खेलेगा क्या, इज इट इवन अ जॉब, और व्हाट इज दिस, इज दिस इवन रियल बिजनेस. बहुत लोगों का ऐसा थॉट है. तो फिर भी वी वांटेड टू नो व्हाट वाज योर पेरेंट्स रिएक्शंस, फैमिली, क्लोज फ्रेंड्स का क्या रिएक्शन था, बिकॉज यू वर गेटिंग इनटू बिजनेस वेरी अर्ली before even completing your graduation, and definitely it would impact your graduation because you won't be able to sit for college.
Yeah.
So वो सब ध्यान में रखते हुए घर वालों ने क्या कहा?
So the question about is this even a real job, ये क्वेश्चन घर वालों को ही नहीं था, मेरे को भी, खुद को भी था.
Very frank.
मेरे को भी था वो टाइम पे. Is this going to lead somewhere?
पैसा मिल सकता है इससे.
It's not about the money thing, but does it lead anywhere?
Okay.
ऐसा simple चीज में था कि ये this is not going to last for your entire life. कितना भी पैसा मिलने तो अगर उधर बैठ के खुश ना हो, अगर खुद का हॉबी बिगाड़ दे रहे हो. वो सबसे मेन कंसर्न ये था कि उधर बैठ के दिन रात अगर गेम खेलूंगा तो मेरा जो हॉबी है अभी विल आई लूज दैट.
करेक्ट.
वो भी था. और घर वालों का रिएक्शन भी सेम था कि माई मदर वॉज जस्ट हैप्पी दैट आई गॉट अ जॉब. But my father was a bit skeptical about the whole this industry, and is it even real, or does it even count in your whole thing and everything. So first couple of years my dad was he wasn't pressurizing me or anything, but there will always be a concern talk with me, right? And that every parent does that, it's a good thing. But yeah, they never tried to force me into coming out of it,
Wow.
or try to force me into doing something else.
This itself is a big thing. This itself is a big thing.
Yeah, so there was the whole, the support thing is them doing nothing about it is the support that I wanted, and I got it.
Wow.
And all I wanted that. So I don't mind the few concerned talks and anything. Eventually it turned out pretty good. I don't know yet, but still so far it is looking pretty good. So yeah, my mother right now, if I'm playing video games at home, my mother just tells people that he's working. I'm not really
ज़्यादा
working.
detail में जाने का नहीं. He has a job. He's working right now.
Yes, whenever someone comes home and my mother sees me play video games, she just say that no, he's doing some work or something like that.
मेरे को लगता है कोविड के बाद बहुत पेरेंट्स का ये हो गया होगा, क्योंकि सबकी पोल खुल गई है. इवन दीज कॉर्पोरेट गाइज हु आर वर्किंग, हु आर सो कॉल्ड वर्किंग, घर पे आने के बाद पता चला है कुछ काम नहीं है, दिन भर ऐसे ही सिर्फ लैपटॉप के सामने उंगली लगे, बस मम्मी बोले इसका पैसा मिलता है तेरे को. तो बहुत लोगों की पोल तो खुल गई है वैसे. सो बट आई कैन टोटली रिलेट. So, after this entire journey and entire process, what is your thought process about the gaming industry? Because now you're a veteran in it after like almost 6 years experience, so 6+. So, what are your thoughts about this industry and this business? Because अब पता चल गया होगा, idea आया होगा कि what is this actually about?
So, okay, basically, the gaming industry is like the highest earning industry out there right now.
Correct.
Making a lot of money, and there's a whole idea about versatility in this industry. You can become anyone. You don't need to have a technical background, you don't need to have an engineer's degree, or you don't need to know programming to get into this industry.
Correct.
You can get into this industry with any kind of knowledge you have already, and get into it in one particular department, and once you start understanding the entire industry, then you can choose which department you want to go in.
Correct.
Okay, people
so the industry allows it.
Yes, they do. I have known a lot of people who came in QA, started in QA, and then they saw there was some, they had some interest into a little bit of programming or anything. They went into tools, creating tools for QA. They went into R&D departments. They went into, they became producers, they became game designers. Some people became game designers, some people became level designers. When I was actually thinking about my career back when I was 17, 18, I was thinking about getting into the game industry was always something, a little thing in my mind, at that subconscious mind. And what I used to feel was that all you need to know is animation. But it is a lot more than animation. Animation is a very small part. Like any department, all these departments work together, and eventually there comes out a game. It can be a good one, it can be a bad one, it doesn't matter. But all these different fields, all these people from different fields, people from artists, art designers basically, who design the art of the level, level designers, game designers, they don't really need a lot of technical knowledge.
Correct.
But they need to be artists. Animators, they need to be animators.
डोमेन अच्छा होना चाहिए.
यस, आर्टिस्ट आर्ट बना के देगा, मॉडल बना के देगा, एनिमेटर उसको एनिमेट करेगा, प्रोग्रामर वो एनिमेशन को प्रोग्रामिंग करेगा, और लेवल डिज़ाइनर एक लेवल डालेगा जिस पे वो एनिमेशन चलेगा, और गेम डिज़ाइनर डिसाइड करेगा वो एनिमेशन करने क्या वाला है. सिंपल चीज़ है. हर एक डोमेन का बंदा है इसमें.
करेक्ट.
इवेंचुअली वो QA के पास आएगा, वो देखेगा कि वो ठीक से चलता है कि नहीं. हर एक डोमेन का ये इधर आर्ट्स आ गया, कॉमर्स आ गया, साइंस आ गया, सब चीज़ आ गया.
वेरी ट्रू.
Then comes, you don't want to work for corporate industry, you go into esports. That's a whole different thing.
YouTube चल रहा है आजकल, YouTube streaming and all.
YouTube तो बहुत पहले से चल रहा है. YouTube से पहले Twitch था. Twitch पे लोग अभी भी है. Twitch पे लोग स्ट्रीमिंग करते हैं, कंटेंट बनाते हैं, 8 घंटा बैठ के लोगों को एंटरटेन करते हैं. It's a entertainment industry basically. You can do that.
Twitch pay you?
Yes.
Okay.
Twitch pays you. YouTube does. Facebook does it. There's a Indian platform coming. I don't Zoom. नहीं. I don't remember the name right now. It's a
Indian platform भी आ रहा है.
Indian startup है. Indian platform है for streaming purposes. वो लोग चालू कर रहे हैं अभी. I think it's based in Mumbai.
Okay.
So there are a lot of platforms that you can create content. If you feel you can talk to people, if you feel you are approachable, and you have to be pretty good at playing games, and if you're both, you can. But of course, there's a cost to the whole setup thing.
Exactly. So that's what I wanted to ask you. कि कौन से बंदों ने या फिर बंदियों ने they should go into streaming, and what kind of gamers or game enthusiasts should go into job initially, because both the streams are available to each and everyone. So where should one go is the big thing for them to decide.
See, it's not just these two areas. People can go to a lot of different things, but considering these two, streaming, there's a hefty cost to it. Initial cost, initial investment. You need a proper gaming rig to do it. You need a proper setup to actually stream, because streaming is heavy on the system itself. So a lot of people use 2 different systems, one for gaming itself and one for streaming.
Oh my
God. A lot of people do that. Some people have heavy enough, and these things are very expensive. Graphic cards and processors are very expensive. So if you have that money and you are ready to spend it, and then you are patient enough to go 6 months, 7 months, sometimes years without a viewer, but continuing to still talk, to pretend that you have viewers, and continue to talk and create content. The later part is completely based on how people will take your content.
Correct.
And based on that, you will start getting views and you'll start getting subscribers. But at the start, there will be no one to watch you. There will be maybe your friends will help you, maybe your friends will come and watch you, but eventually they will stop as well.
Yeah.
But you have to keep on going. Once you pick up, then there's no end to it. But to pick up, there has to be patience. There has to be a lot of support from your family members. बहुत support चाहिए ये चीज़ के लिए. कोई देख रहा नहीं है, निराश नहीं होने का उसके पीछे कि यार 2 महीना होगा कर रहा हो, तभी भी कोई नहीं आ रहा देखने को. 3 महीना हो गया कर रहा हो, सब चीज़. And yes, you just have to focus. And doing a job is as simple as you start getting paid. If you want to start getting paid immediately, you do a job.
Correct.
And doing a job is, then again you have different fields and everything. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? So when we talk that these 2 fields are there are not just these 2 fields. There are a lot of fields out there in the gaming industry. We talk about esports. We talk about just reviewing games, making video games, photography. Video games have a feature. Last 3 to 4 years, they have a feature of they give a in-game photo mode.
Wow.
Like a proper camera, what a camera does. All of those settings are in the game. You can take any angle you want in the game. Games are beautiful these days. There are amazing games that they have made, and you can capture these photos. So there are a lot of Instagram channels that have started as gaming photographers. They only post photos from video games.
Wow.
Good photos, edited, good angles and like beautiful sceneries and everything.
क्या बात है.
Instead of going out, you don't like going out and into the nature, you do it in a video game. So there are a lot of things where you can get involved in this particular field. But again, you can't expect to be successful immediately.
Definitely.
There will take a lot of time. You just have to pay your dues, as simple as that.
Definitely. Very true. And you know, what gaming companies are there in India to give you these opportunities? Because many people still don't know that ki, jaise you didn't know ki Ubisoft is there in Pune itself. So what all companies are there in Pune, Bangalore, Mumbai, where people can apply? I mean, the gaming companies.
So when we talk about big gaming companies in Pune itself, we have Ubisoft, we have Sumo.
Okay.
Sumo Digital. Then we have Codemasters in Pune. In Bangalore, we have Rockstar, the GTA guys.
Oh.
Then we have Keyword Studios. We have this Quali, they are into hyper casual games, but mobile games. But
Okay.
even that is an option. They have Quali, they have Zynga, and Indian companies, Indian startups that have started to make some games from India's side as well. Here you'll find a lot of startups in India itself.
It's a huge industry coming in. I think 10 years, 20 years down the line, India will be some on other level in the gaming field. What do you feel?
Yeah, I think so. But we can't like predict.
Yeah.
We can't really predict because right now we are still behind in Indian companies. We are still a lot behind compared to what the big companies do.
Correct.
But yeah, we'll surely get there. It's not. I don't think it will be very hard to get there. But yeah, if we focus on what is important and instead of going for hyper casuals and everything, start to create some serious video games. There are a couple of companies that are doing it, and there are a couple of companies that are really good at doing it.
Okay.
And there was a game called Raji.
Okay. Indian game.
Yeah, Raji, the Untold Truth or something. I don't remember.
Okay.
But it was a proper PC game, and it was a real won some awards and everything on an international level.
Wow.
And it's a very good game, and it's made by an Indian studio, and these guys are doing some really good projects, I think so. So when it comes to customer base, India is the second largest
customer base.
First is of course China will come first, and then there will, but you see PUBG, they banned PUBG, so they created an Indian version of PUBG.
Still
same people, the same people are creating it. They just take a different company's name under, and they made the same thing again, because they don't want to lose business that India brings in.
Correct.
Because of the amount of customers,
I was
the
about
population.
to talk about PUBG only.
As simple as that. So India will be a very big gaming hub in the future. And it is still now. It is a lot of people in India, a lot of Indian streamers also I've seen are playing a lot of mobile games, but there are a lot into mobile games.
Okay.
Because the cost of a PC and everything is very high, which is where we are lacking right now, because we don't really make it here, which is why we have to import it, and the costs just skyrocket after that. So everyone has a mobile phone. It's accessible to everyone. It's pretty easy, and every kid you go nowadays in the holidays, it's too hot outside, they'll be sitting at home and playing some video game on their phone. As simple as that, on their mother's phone probably.
Correct.
Yeah, with credit card information and stuff, and that's all the companies want, the big companies want. So yeah, India is.
Do you think India is still? I mean, the gamers who are playing are still lacking a bit of maturity, or they need that angle of whenever, suppose if they have to interview or get into interview about the loopholes that you spoke about, ki errors, bugs, ये भी देखने का थोड़ा सा not just playing it for the day, but just having some mindset कि बाबा think about how this game was made, or at least have that rolling in your mind also. उसके बारे में, or does this happen naturally with a gamer who plays more?
No, I think India has a lot of mature gamers around. We just don't see those on a daily basis because of the amount of people that overall play video games in India. When we say free to play, any Indian will go and play these games free to play. I've met so many people in the whole gaming industry, and these guys are so smart. They understand, like it's a common thing. Nobody plays the tutorial in a video game. A gamer will never play the tutorial in a video game because they already know how it's going to happen, how things work, and sometimes it is very complicated and then they'll go back, but mostly they'll figure it out by just going through the game. And this thing, we are doing it as well, and Indian gamers are pretty lot mature, and there are Indian esport players as well that play on international levels. We played in the Commonwealth Games as well this year, last year I think. Commonwealth was last year, right?
Yeah. No, this year also it was there now.
Commonwealth Games was last year, I think so, or this year?
This year.
Okay, this year, yeah. They our team also played there.
Wow.
In there was.
I didn't know this.
Yep, they are including esports in Olympics and Commonwealth. So.
Wow.
So
we
it
have
was
not reached Olympics yet.
No, it was experimental, I think so. Last twice, I think there was last time as well. There was a event for esports, and this year also, but it's a experimental event. But
they just want to try it out.
Yeah, we did. A team went there. Valorant, a lot of people must be knowing Valorant.
Okay.
Next year we have our own team. India will have our own team. Global Esports, they will have their own team in there with an Indian roster.
Wow.
So yeah, we are there in the international market, but we just need to support these people who are really talented into this thing. These guys mostly.
मेरे ख्याल से वो मिसकंसेप्शन यही है ना इंडिया में कि गेमिंग में क्या टैलेंट है. So we call them talented on the basis of their knowledge about games, finding bugs, or overall
pure mechanical skill, as simple as that.
But लोगों को लगता है कि उसमें क्या है, गेम खेल के. So if you master an application, for them it is good. But if you master a game, ये क्या है, ऐसा casual attitude आ जाता है उसमें कि but they don't know कि कभी कभी application आसान होता है but game is pretty tough to master. Yes. Or maybe play it for some time and then crack it and beat it and finish it for the so big thing, but people don't get it. वो maturity अभी तक इंडिया में बस flow होनी चाहिए. The parental support which you talk about doing nothing, just let the kid do what he wants to do. That is the biggest thing which you got. But most of the kids are still struggling in that phase कि बाबा acceptance ही नहीं है अभी तक what they are doing.
वो एक focus में करना पड़ता है. If you want to go into esports, you need to develop your mechanical skills, basically pressing the right button at the right time.
Very true.
They make it look easier when you watch it on YouTube and you watch these players play somewhere. They make it look easy. You just think they're just point and shooting. It's not. वो किधर रुकाने का mouse वो भी समझ में को आना चाहिए ना. There's a lot of technical area that comes into it, and it takes years of practice to master something like this. And there are people from South Korea is a very big gaming hub for these esports events and everything. And these guys have buildings of skyscrapers, basically gaming cafes.
Wow.
You just go there and you just play your games.
Part of their culture now.
Yeah, yes, it is. And esports is such a big thing there. And the players that come from South Korea literally destroy everyone all around the world.
Baapre.
And like last few years, we are seeing that other countries are now giving a tough competition because even some of the players from US and everyone, even these guys go to South Korea and they practice there instead of practicing in US itself because the regional changes. So this is esports is a very it's a very popular sport all around the world, but it's not very streamlined here. अपने इधर cricketer बनना है, footballer बनना है, Olympics में खेलना है, and it's a good thing. But if you see someone multi-fragging on a server, absolutely destroying the server, but you are still telling them नहीं चलो पढ़ाई करो.
That is the problem.
गली क्रिकेट में कोई बंदा अपना 6 बॉल 6 छक्के मार दिया, पिताजी प्राउड हो जाते हैं, भाई मेरा बंदा तेंदुलकर बनेगा, मेरा बच्चा विराट कोहली बनेगा, युवराज बनेगा. पर यही सेम चीज़ खेलते हुए दिखो घर पे तो कान पट्टा लग जाता है. उठ पढ़ाई कर.
Yes.
ये क्या कर रहा है बोल के.
I get it. I totally get it. And you know, talking about the good days, I also want to talk about कि personal journey में हर एक का एक phase होता है where you feel low, every day is not a great day. So how do you keep yourself going, or how do you keep yourself motivated in the low times?
It's all I think about is how I am contributing to this industry, this particular industry. That is the only motivation that I have.
That
Low or
going.
high, wherever it's low days will always will turn out to be high because of this particular area. My low days are usually the days when I don't have a lot of work at work. Like
करने को कुछ नहीं.
Yeah, usually during the holidays and everything कुछ करने के लिए नहीं है तो फिर वो टाइम पे थोड़ा सा अभी क्या करने का ऐसा हो जाता है. But the more my work gets challenging, the more pressure I have during work, the more I have deadlines and everything. That is where I work the best.
That keeps you going.
That keeps me going. And वो आता है इतना किर होता है वो दिमाग को, नहीं चाहिए ये सब चीज़ करके. But then you realize that what are you doing towards it, where are you going with this, and how this is going to help you grow. As simple as that. That is what completely motivates me. There were times at Ubisoft when we were doing overtimes. Tell you 3 months, I think so. This was before the launch of my project. It was called For Honor. I think a lot of people might know it. If you don't, you should check it out. It's a very good game.
Sure, I'll.
But it was before the launch, crunch period. 3 months overtime, 7 days a week, 12 hours a day.
बाप रे. No holiday.
No holidays. And of course, we do have a choice if we want to do it or not.
Correct.
But people there, 130 people on the project, 140 people on the project, everyone was plus some additional people as well from some different projects.
Contractual employees.
No, from other projects,
okay.
yeah,
Got it.
who didn't have that much work. They would come to work with us as well, and all of them were willing to do it. They're there by their choice. It wasn't that the company was forcing them or anything. You can say yes or no, but everyone was there. 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, every day, and we used to come in with a smile on our faces, and we used to leave with a smile on our faces. And during all that, the entire time, honestly, I just missed that time period.
क्या बात है.
It was like my work, my office became my home, and I just used to go home to sleep and get up in the morning, come back to office again. These are 3 months. 3 months, no holidays, nothing. Even there was Diwali, and they said that if you do it, then we'll give you double pay. And we did it for Diwali as well. So they gave us 2 days holidays at that time for just Lakshmi Pujan and some other day. But for Diwali as well, we included that. And when the project came out, when the project launched, and it's been 6 years since then, 5 years I think. So this is year 6 now. And this game is still being played by people. The company is still making new stuff for that game, and people have made on YouTube, you know, those essay channels, they speak about stuff in an essay format. A lot of YouTubers have done the comeback story of this particular game, and this is something that I feel really proud of, being part of something like this.
क्या बात है यार.
And for so long, having my name in the credits of that game.
Wow.
When you go through it, and being the part of the original team, and from there, and making around 50 title updates for this thing.
बड़ी बात.
And it's while leaving Ubisoft, the only thing I remembered was all of these things that I went through. And it was a love. It felt like a dream. It still feels like a dream.
क्या बात है. Sameer bhai, a little bit, I mean, you know, digressing from the topic, but what do you think about the current education system in India? क्या लगता है?
If you asked me this question 3 or 4 years ago, I would say, leave that thing. Don't study. कुछ नहीं होता ये सब चीज़. But right now, over the years, it is important to get your education. It doesn't matter what degree you have or not. So I'm still skeptical about degrees. Having a degree and not having the knowledge is very common.
Yes,
I've seen
very,
that in
very
a lot
common.
of people now.
Yeah.
And if some of my friends see this, they'll know exactly who I'm talking about. But gaining knowledge is important. Education system in India rushes you. You have to do your 10th by your 16, you have to do your 12th by 18, you have to complete graduation by 21 and all of that. I think take your time, whoever is, don't rush it. The age group of 16 to 20 is a very distraction filled age group. Not everyone can focus on gaining the knowledge that they're supposed to gain, and not everyone is focused on what they're doing.
It's a confusion age. It's sub confused. You get motivated by people who you meet every day, and the thoughts keep changing every day. So you feel a lot of करे तो करे क्या?
You can't really decide what you're going to do for the rest of your life in your first 20 years.
Yeah,
you cannot. And eventually we see people doing degrees in this particular field and going into a completely different field in the future. So we don't really want that. Take your time. You want a break, take a break. एक साल break ले लिया, एक साल enjoy कर लिया bro. देश देख लिया. ठीक है, अभी ये सबको possible नहीं है, understand, सबको possible नहीं है, but like rushing yourself through something, just putting yourself through something, वो एक रहता है ना कि अपना पूरा weight carry कर लो और खत्म हो गया अभी, हाँ फाइनली खत्म हो गया.
I know.
पर कुछ सीखा नहीं ब्रो. कुछ तो करके अपन क्लियर कर लिए, पर कुछ सीखा नहीं उसके बाद में. फिर अपन जाते कोई बीकॉम करके कोई गेमिंग इंडस्ट्री में जाके काम कर रहा है, कोई इंजीनियरिंग करके बैंक में काम कर रहा है,
जॉब रेस्टोरेंट खोल रहे हैं.
कोई फूड इंडस्ट्री में सीख के कुछ और ही कर रहा है,
जॉब कर रहे हैं
किधर तो भी. So we don't really want that. So education is important. Get your education, get it, understand what you are learning, what you want to learn, and make sure that you are into it. Take a year extra. Doesn't matter.
Knowledge matters.
3 साल में ही होना ग्रेजुएशन नहीं मैटर करता. ले लो 1 साल एक्स्ट्रा, सीख लो वापस. नहीं हो रहा तो
Got it.
ठीक है. Doesn't matter कि सीखना is not only from the education system.
Yeah.
Get a job, you learn from there as well.
चलते देश घूमने निकल जाओ. You can learn from people.
I consider Ubisoft as my graduation. As simple.
Why not?
Yeah. So like focus on gaining the knowledge rather than getting your degree, rather than the marks that you get. That doesn't matter. Never. It will never matter. your degree will matter for your first job. After that
उसके
they
बाद-
will ask for your experience, they'll ask for your knowledge, they never ask for degree. वो सिर्फ नीचे लिखने के
Name
लिए
tag
रहता है, नेम टैग रहता है, बस भाई कुछ नहीं रहता.
Very true, yeah, very true. And lastly, I would like to ask you, how would you personally define success? What does success mean to you?
I have no idea. I'm too young to say what success is. Honestly,
अभी तक सोचा नहीं है.
there are a lot of definitions for success, but I don't have a personal one. I don't think of it that way. I consider my happiness as success basically. So the whole goal is to be happy rather than to be successful. I don't care if I'm successful or not. Eventually, am I happy or not? That is what I will always care about. So success for me, I don't really have a definition for success, but this is very important. It has to be different for each and every person.
सेम नहीं हो सकता है या होना भी नहीं चाहिए.
तेरे लिए जो सक्सेस है वही सेम चीज़ मेरे लिए नहीं होना ही नहीं चाहिए. हो नहीं सकता, होना ही नहीं चाहिए. अगर हुआ तो भी फिर कुछ तो गड़बड़ है. whatever success you got, if I do the same thing and I got success, like, तो वो तेरा सक्सेस हो गया ना, मेरा थोड़ी हो गया.
करेक्ट.
जो पहले करेगा उसका हो गया वो सक्सेस.
सही है, सही है, काफ़ी सही है.
कुछ तो डिफरेंट करना है. तो अपना खुद के लिए रखना चाहिए कि क्या what is important to you.
I can totally relate with this thought and I totally agree as well. So thank you Sameer bhai for sharing your journey and it was great talking to you and all the best for future.
Thank you for having me.